My name is Nate Dillon, 27 years old, lonely, dating sporadically due to work commitments, shy. The ladies in the cafeteria flirt, but I'm not ready to mix work and pleasure. In the last week, 4 or 5 people have asked me out. Unfortunately, due to my busy work schedule, I had to cancel them. I have no idea what changed to make me so popular, but I'm not complaining. I was late at work again. My cell phone buzzed with an incoming message. I need to talk to you as soon as possible. I guessed the wrong number since this number is not in my contacts. Who is this? We haven't met. Call me. I dialed the number. The woman answered. This is Nate Dillon. You asked me to call. Nate, my name is Karina. I'd really like to sit down and talk. What's your schedule today? Karina, why should I meet a stranger late at night? This is very important, and I don't want to talk about it on the phone. We can meet somewhere brightly lit, like Mickey Diz. I need to work for another hour. We agreed on the place and time of the meeting. In my miserable personal life, I was always expecting something unexpected and strange. As I entered, I realized that I had not asked how to identify her. No one had a gun or a knife. 2 ladies had children. There was a very old woman there, whom I immediately dismissed from consideration. I sat in a booth in the corner. Based solely on her confident walk, the woman who just walked in became my prime suspect. She quickly scanned the crowd and headed straight towards me. She walked quickly, holding a cell phone in her right hand, and her left swayed back and forth with every step. The purse hung on her shoulder. Nate? Who are you? You look a lot like Nate. You're Nate, aren't you? I'm really sorry. I wish I was. This brought a smile to her face. She looked confused as she surveyed the visitors again. Just kidding. You must be Karina. Cute. I must. Yes, I should. Have a seat. Karina took a large envelope from her purse and placed it on the table. I'm very sorry, but your wife is having an affair with my husband. Never. This is simply impossible. Handing me an envelope. Once again, I'm very sorry. Here's the investigator's report and some very disturbing photos. I think the affair began 3 months ago. I unfastened the clasps and tried to shield the children from the pornographic photographs. If it was her husband, I understand why she would be bothered. There were about a dozen photographs and they were all obscene. What the heck? I'll play along with her. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I'm shocked. What are you going to do? I would like to kill them, but that won't happen. My sister thinks I should take revenge and show him the photos. What are you going to do? That was a good question. I have never been married. I've never even been engaged. At what point should I bring this to Karina's attention? I can't imagine spending another night in her bed. What is revenge? I knew exactly what it was, but I didn't want to unzip my fly just yet. In a whisper, so that those who were closer to us could not overhear, this is when you have sex outside of marriage to even the score. I covered my mouth with my hand and raised my eyebrows. And you did it? No. I think we can do this. Luckily, my male instrument was already ready for some serious action. Should I put on a show? Let me look at the report again. I chuckled and chuckled as I looked at this idiot's report. Here it is, my name and phone number. The addresses, home and work, turned out to be incorrect. I need to send this dude a Christmas card. Shaking my head negatively, looking at the photographs as if with disgust, I said, when and where? Tonight at your place. Too dangerous. I have another place we can use. Follow me. I drove to my house and parked on the street. Opening the garage door, I motioned for Karina to come inside. Nobody should see you. Let me close the garage door when you come in. We went to the kitchen. Karina seemed nervous. Anything to drink? White wine, if you have it. I handed Karina 2 different bottles to choose from. Then I filled the gracefully tapered glass with champagne. She took off her coat and shoes. Dressed in a very loose logo shirt and somewhat tight jeans, she was actually quite cute. Pulling the tie from her ponytail onto her wrist, she began shaking and fluffing her hair, causing it to cascade down. She was a beautiful woman. She looks like she's about my age. She drank in one gulp and announced, "I'm ready. Let's do it." Grabbing my hand, she walked down the corridor. Instead of a bedroom, we ended up in the guest room. It didn't matter to me. I started to unzip, but fell behind in the striptease competition. What a pleasure it will be. Slightly, a little plump, hard buds on her chest are directed towards the sky. With a sparkle in your eyes, look at yourself. Oh my God, I'm really gonna love this. You're just huge compared to Neil. I believe Neil is her husband. At this moment, I didn't care. The feeling of her hands on my manly tool was amazing. I busied myself caressing and fingering her buds. Our mouths found each other, and we took a minute to warm up. "I'm all excited. I want your instrument." Throwing ourselves into the middle of the bed, we had sex. I tried to control myself. I really tried. "You're so tight, I don't think I can last long. Let yourself go. I'll help you up." Without having sex, oh my God, I can't even remember when it was before I came to the finish line. We lay motionless for a minute, then I rolled off. Karina immediately rolled onto me and pressed herself against me. "Your wife is a fool." "No, your husband is a fool. You must be a very nervous bitch for him to refuse a body like that." "Yes, something like that." I squeezed her tightly, and she pressed herself even tighter to me. 10 minutes later, I began to move, and Karina noticed it. She slid down and began to excite my manhood, and then rode me cowgirl style. She fucked me. I simply provided my hard tool for her to use. Even though I was quite passive, she climaxed. She collapsed on my chest and pressed herself. A minute later, I realized that she was fast asleep. 20 minutes later, I woke her up. We talked about everything and nothing for less than an hour. Karina looked into my eyes. "I guess it's time for me to go home. You know, they cheated for a long time. We only did this one night. Don't you think we should do this again?" "Yes. You have my mobile number. Text me when you have a plan." Before Karina put her bra back on, she took a selfie with my hand over her shoulder, pinching her hard bud with my neck. I didn't realize that revenge sex buddies exchanged hot, passionate kisses and hugs when they broke up. I made a mistake. As I tried to process the events of the evening, I began to worry. I hope Neil's slut didn't infect Basket. On the other hand, I was hoping that Karina was taking the pills. A little late for these concerns, and yet I slept like a baby. Karina has a body made for sex. She must be some kind of bitch to throw Neil into the arms of another, although I didn't see it in her. Every day I wanted to send her a message. 10 days later, the drought was broken. "Can we meet in the same place? Today at 7 p.m.? "Yes." The sex was no worse than the first night. Instead of 2 sessions, we held 3. Several more erotic pictures were taken. We talked as if we had known each other not for 2 nights, but for several months. "What's going on with your divorce?" "I applied today. That's why I wrote. What about you? Have you already decided what to do?" "Well, I didn't want to do anything until you did." "I bet she'll freak out when he tells her what you and I did." "I bet he will freak out when I tell him what you and I did." "I hope Neil is not violent." "Well, he served time for killing a guy in a bar fight." Think. Why didn't you think about this?" Even though I already thought I was the Walking Dead, I responded with a passionate hug and kiss as Karina left. She knew how to inflate my ego. 10 minutes after she left, a message arrived. "I love your instrument. We're not done yet." My popularity in the cafeteria has faded. I have yet to understand women. To make matters worse, I developed feelings for Karina. Then the next message came. "Do you want to meet on Friday? Maybe we can have dinner before that?" I immediately sent a yes response. Even though my heart was telling me to continue, my head was begging me to end this charade. As I watched the sun slip silently behind the mountains, I sighed. Today is not that day. Maybe tomorrow. My conscience got to me. I'll have to break up with Karina. It eats me up inside, being a liar. Just the thought of Karina made my testosterone boil. I arrived at the restaurant before her. Sitting down at a table for 2 in a secluded corner, I began to sweat. "How do you feel when you deceive someone?" "Damn her!" God, she looked so damn good today. Her blouse was unbuttoned to show off her assets. They are not huge, but they stand tall and perky. I greeted her with a hug and a kiss on the cheek. What? No kisses? Corina, please sit down. I need to confess something. The smile that Corina came with became even. What's going on, Nate? I took both of Corina's hands in mine and looked into her eyes. I can't do this anymore. I'm a fraud. I'm not married and have never even been engaged. The opportunity to have sex with you made me abandon my morals. I'm sorry there was trouble in your marriage, but I shouldn't have been involved. Please forgive me, but I can't keep doing this. Tears appeared in Corina's eyes. She took her hands off me and reached for her purse. It seemed to me that she was going to run away. Instead, she pulled out a small envelope the size of a greeting card. Tears were now streaming down her cheeks. I felt like a real ass. Please read this. I am also very sorry. Now it was my turn to be embarrassed. I pulled out a handwritten note from the envelope. Nate, if you're reading this, it means I'm caught or I can't do this anymore. I know that you are not married. I always knew this. Like you, I have never been married, although I was engaged until last fall. Several ladies from HR and accounting decided to make a bet to see who could seduce you. You're always so shy that you don't even look us in the eye. After showing the topless photo I took of us together that first night, I won the pool. The more I thought about you, the more I wanted to meet you again. I should have confessed then, but I didn't. I really love you, and I hope that you can forgive me. Maybe someday we will try to establish traditional relations. Please don't hate me. Corina. Let's talk about mixed feelings. Corina bit her lower lip as the tears continued to fall. I put the letter on the table and took Corina's hands again. Aren't we a couple? Relationships are supposed to be based on trust, but ours begins with deception. How do we solve this? Corina's eyes widened. Now can we be honest and truthful? I'll tell you what. Let's decide this tonight. Sunday is Valentine's Day. Are you free for dinner? I would like that. Will you pick me up at 6? Sounds like a plan. Valentine's Day went well. We ate, drank, but mostly talked. Corina is 3 years younger than me. She was engaged for 2 years before he finally got cold feet. She suspects that he has found another woman, but she has no proof. There is more than a little resentment that I will have to overcome. Corina explained how she copied photos from the internet and posted investigators' reports from a detective story website. So now that you've seduced me, what are your plans? Am I a laughing stock to your circle? Not at all. Many ladies envy me. I more than hinted that we were close, but didn't give them any details. You're in the HR department. Are we violating any company rules? No, the company doesn't want any liability. Anyone can date anyone. If productivity suffers, someone may end up on the street. So don't slack off at work dreaming about me. Too late. That's why I spend extra hours. I think I've hit the mark with this answer. Her eyes gave her away. As much as I wanted to take Cow home and ravage her body, we both knew that a long-term relationship had to be built on more than just lust. After a month, we gave up. It was the most passionate weekend of my life. I kissed every sensitive spot on her body that my exploration revealed. Corina's first climax was impressive. I was proud of myself. Her second climax made her faint. She said that this had never happened before, and the way she attacked my manhood after that made me a believer. Corina plans to move as soon as possible. We have set a tentative date for next Valentine's Day to get married. Corina's hidden bitchy side is her jealousy. I'm on a very short leash. Corina is an only child, and I keep teasing her about lusting after her sister. Even this childish fiction turns her on. I know Corina got these photos from the internet. I took a chance that maybe she would be open to trying these positions. I was lucky, if you know what I mean. To make sure I understood, Corina informed me that she would not retaliate if I ever got lost. She'll just kill my cheating ass. I believed it.